We are ready to partay.
And so are they.
Oh, we got Party Piggy.
Party Slothy. Guys, we're so excited to show you how to make these awesome little animal cakes today out of 100% buttercream.
So cute. Let's head over to the studio and get started.
All right, guys, so our 4-inch cakes are frosted. We sort of rounded the top of our cakes to get them ready for our party animals.
We have a bunch of fun bags ready. We have a couple ice cream cones here. Secret weapon with the hats. And then I'm gonna have a little pig here.
And I'm gonna do Party Sloth. So we're so excited.
So cute. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is draw our little party pig snout here. So I'm just gonna draw like an oval. I have a 4-tip on my bag, and I'm gonna fill that in, and then I'm gonna use my offset spatula just to smooth that out and get rid of all those lines. Okay, once that's done, move on to his eyes, which if you want, helpful tip, you can use your tip to push into your cake to make the perfect little circle. I'm just going to space those out. And then I have a 2-tip on my black bag, and I'm going to go ahead and just fill those circles in. And this works great because I'm working on a cold cake. I'm also going to draw just kind of like a little U shape for his mouth and fill that in also. And then while I have my black bag out, I'm going to plate 2 ovals just by pulling down to finish off that snout. Now I'm going to smooth his eyes out again with my offset spatula, just getting rid of all that texture and the lines that we made from the tip. Swipe over his mouth. And then my favorite part that always brings our little characters to life is adding these little highlights in their eyes. So I usually like to do like 1 big dot and 1 or 2 small dots. And then when I have my white bag out, I'm going to just give him a little frosting by wiggling back and forth. And then we can kind of just put some sprinkles on there. So cute. I love it. So now I'm going to use my tip number 402. This is actually what we use to make our signature flowers here at the White Flower Cake Shop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze pretty hard and I'm going to pull down to create an ear. So I'm going to squeeze and pull down and switch to my other side and squeeze and pull down. And then with that number 4 tip that I have on my pink bag, what I like to do just to kind of finish his ears off is I'm going to trace around this outside. And that'll kind of just create that nice little finish kind of fold to his ear here. Perfect. And then I'm going to give him a little cupcake. So I'm going to stick that on there and just add a little swirl of frosting. A little bit of frosting on the board because that's what's all over his mouth. And some sprinkles. And then, my favorite part, we're going to add the little party hat. So this is great. You can just use an ice cream cone. We're going to just stick that on his head. And the fun part of this is you can be really creative. So whether you want to use a round tip or a star tip or a leaf tip, any texture is going to look really awesome on here. So right now I'm just going to use a star tip and I'm just going to start putting little stars all over his hat. And you can use all different colors or you can use all one color, whatever you want it to look like. This is definitely a part where you can have some freedom and have a lot of fun with it. the star tip texture all over Piggy's hat, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little texture texture on the top and around the base. And I just have a leaf tip on my bag, and I'm just gonna kind of pull up and out and just create a fun ball on the top of this hat here. It's a little bit spiky. That looks really cute. And then I'm gonna do the same thing all around the base just by squeezing and pulling out. So I'm just squeezing and pulling out here and creating the little base of his hat. Again, using whatever tips you have, whatever colors you have, just to create like a little fluffy bottom and a fluffy top. And then I'm gonna go back in with an 8 tip and just pipe a few little polka dots on his hat just to add some more color to it. This little party pig is definitely coming to life. And then I'll add some pink. Same thing, just by piping little polka dots. I'm gonna just put a little bit of buttercream on his head too. And a little bit of sprinkles, because why not? And there we have our party pig. Alright, it is Slothy time. I am so excited to show you guys how to make this little party sloth. And it's actually pretty easy. There's a few steps we have to follow. We're going to start out with a toothpick and draw the shape of the Slothy's face. So his face is kind of a heart shape, almost like a heart-shaped oval, I guess you could say. So I'm going to take my toothpick and kind of etch that into the side, just as like a little guideline to follow. If we don't follow it perfectly, that's okay. It's just giving us a frame. We're basically going to lay in all the little details of his face, and then we're going to go in and put tons of fur all over. So I'm going to start with a gray bag with a number 4 tip, and I'm going to go ahead and pipe the sloth's mouth, which to me kind of looks like a little like lima bean shape. But I'm going to take and pipe in his mouth, just like that. And I'm going to take the buttercream and kind of wiggle it back and forth inside of the shape. And what that does is it applies the same amount of buttercream from side to side. Then I'm going to take my little offset and smooth out that mouth shape that I made. And definitely use the turntable to kind of move it around to get it nice and smooth. We always work on cold cakes when we're doing these techniques, just because it'll help keep that surface buttercream where you want it to be, and it won't blend with the buttercream below. So I laid out the mouth shape. Now I'm going to go in and put his cute little nose in, which is kind of just like a little oval shape right on top of where the mouth is. Okay. All right, we'll smooth out that. All right, so I've got the little mouth shape in there. I think next I'm going to go in and put the eyes. What I'm going to need for that is a bag of brown buttercream, and then I will use either a 6 or a 7 tip for that. And to frame in his little eyes, we're basically going to start at the edge of where we put our mark for the face, and we're going to bring in our shape and kind of bring it back out into that mark. Fill that in. And we're going to do that on the opposite side. And I always like to kind of step back and look at it and make sure that they're even. Fill that in. And then we're going to use our offset again. Smooth those out. And it's okay to leave a little bit of texture on these.
where his little eyeballs sit is basically just like little patches of fur, so it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. All right, so now I think next what I'm gonna do is lay in his eyeballs. And what we like to do is take our tip, make the mark where it's gonna go. And again, you can sit back, look at it, make sure they're even. And then take the 2-tip with the black buttercream. And fill that little round shape in. All right, our little slothy dude's coming together. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and do his little nose and mouth since I have my black pad. And again, this is a number 2 tip, so this is a perfect tip to add detail. So I'm going to squeeze a little nostril here. I'm going to squeeze the other little nostril down there and kind of connect them together. And then my absolute favorite part on the sloth is his little smile. And just like that, our slothy has his little smile. He's ready to party. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is kind of set up for layering on all of his fur. So one of the things that I like to do is put his little hands up front. This little guy is going to be clutching a macaron. So we're going to make his hands sort of come out with a little bit of space in the middle to hold that mac. So what I'm going to do to set that up is to take my ring and tip off of my buttercream bag. And I'm going to start from the edge of the cake. And I'm just going to kind of squeeze the shape of his arms. It looks a little weird right now, but we are going to cover it with fur and have his little fingers coming out. So I think we're ready to go ahead and start putting fur all over our little sloth. So what we use for that, the best tip that we found to do fur on any type of animal is the grass tip. So this is a number 233, and this tip is fantastic for making all sorts of texture and fur. So I've got my brown bag ready to go, my grass tip ready to go, and what I'm going to start with first is sort of framing in his face, and then I'll just sort of fur it up. So I like to start with this little spot right here and bring that grass tip down, just to create that little frame around his face. Okay, so I'm going to start filling up the rest of this little sloth, and then we'll end with a few more little details and he'll be finished. So here's our slothy. He's looking so fresh and so clean. He's all puffy with his fur. Love him. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a few more details on him. One of the things we love to do here is add little highlights into our character's eyes. It just sort of makes the eyes pop. So I have a number 2 tip on my white bag. And what I'm going to do is go to sort of like the outer edge of the eye and squeeze one little dot and then a smaller dot right underneath. And that sort of makes the eye really come to life. I'll do that on the other side. And look how cute. Love him. So one of the best ways we figured out how to do the little sloth fingernails is to take a 102 tip, which is a tip that we use for roses, but it works really great to make it look like our sloth's fingernails. I'm going to squeeze with the thin side up, and I'm just going to go in and sort of pull out directionally these little fingernails. And then we're going to do it on the other side, and we're going to curve them in a little bit, because this slothy is about to feast on a macaron. So I have this yummy little vanilla macaron, and it's the perfect size for our sloth to be holding. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit of that buttercream, squeeze it down, and set it right there. Now that our little slothy is holding the macaron, we're going to take a little sprinkles and sort of throw some onto his mouth like he's having a feast with that macaron. Super cute. And then the final piece for our party sloth is going to be his party hat. So we have a little mini ice cream cone. I'm going to take it and just sort of set it on his head. I like to offset it so it's sort of directional. I think it's cuter that way. So for this sloth's hat, what I'm going to do is take these little star tips and basically just randomly pipe stars all over the hat. I want this hat to look kind of fun and full of color. So this is kind of an easy technique where you're just randomly filling the space with the different stars. And it's okay if the tips are different sizes too. So I'll switch colors here. I'll use this pretty little tangerine color. And again, we're just sort of piping on these little buttercream stars all over, just to fill up the space. Super easy technique. Switch colors again. Finished putting the little star texture on our hat, so I'm going to take my Tiffany blue star tip and sort of zigzag to create that little trim on the bottom of our sloth hat. And you just want to make sure you're turning your turntable as you do this. To finish this, I'll take that same Tiffany blue and I'll squeeze just a little ball at the top of the hat. All right, that party sloth is done and he's ready to party.